What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into episode 166, everybody. I am your host, Sleazeball. Today's episode will be my Week 13 Smash Start 8 players that I think that are going to go nuclear in Week 13. And these aren't just superstar names. So these are going to be 8 players that are outside the top 10 overall that I think are going to absolutely smash this week based on matchups, my research, and everything like that. Before we dive into it, guys, make sure you smash that like. Make sure you hit that subscription button. Turn that bell on. It helps me out a ton. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support this season. And remember, we are already 4 games into this week. So it is a lot tougher to decide these smash start players when you're already missing 8 teams that are out of it. So this is a lot of deep dive research here. And if you guys want to check out any of my rankings, those are all out. I'm also going to do my sleeper video probably after this, either today or tomorrow, which are players outside the top 40. If you need a deep play in competitive leagues or something like that, let's dive into the players that I think that are going nuclear in Week 13. The first player that I think that is going absolutely nuclear for the quarterback position is going to be Russell Wilson. And I know most of you are going to be like fading Russell Wilson because he played 2 bad games against Baltimore, one of the best run defenses there is, against Cleveland in a snow game. That's not how you have to look at it, guys. He did throw for 205 yards and 270 yards in those games. So he's currently averaging 12.3 points, quarterback 33, so outside the top 10 there. 1,212 passing yards, 24 rushing yards with a rush TD, 7 passing TDs, and 2 interceptions as well. Now, in this matchup here, you're going to get the Cincinnati Bengals at Cincinnati, where they're grinding for their playoff life at 4-7. This game is a 47.5 over/under. But what you have to look at here is the Cincinnati Bengals give up 20.7 points to the quarterback per game. This defense cannot stop anything through the air. This is where Russell Wilson is going to flourish in this game. They rank 27th in the red zone as well, so there's very high touchdown upside there. Giving up 236.1 passing yards a game, which is bottom 10. And they're also giving up 1.7 touchdowns a game, which is bottom 10 there as well, passing to the quarterback. This is what you have to like. Russell Wilson is going to connect with George Pickens in this game. They missed a couple connections last time because the snow. George Pickens couldn't see anything. Couple deep bombs. He throws the moon ball. It hasn't been hitting in the past couple weeks, but this is the game that it's going to hit. I love Russell Wilson in this game to smash for 20-plus points. The second player and second quarterback that is going to go nuclear in Week 13 is going to be Kyler Murray. He is headed into the Minnesota Vikings. The game is at 44.5 over/under, so about midway on high-flying points. I think it's going to be over that. But the roller coaster ride with Kyler Murray has been something that's just absolutely crazy this year. So he's averaging 17.6 points, QB 11, so outside the top 10 overall. 2,343 passing yards, 380 rushing yards. Gotta love the rush yards he puts in for fantasy football. 4 interceptions to go along with 18 total TDs. Now, you're getting the Minnesota Vikings here. You're going to look at this defense and think that they're good, and they are a good defense, and they're good versus the quarterback as well. So they only give up 15.1 points. That ranks 11th, 22nd in the red zone, so about a top 15 to 16 defense overall. 265.1 passing yards. That is the number you have to look at right there. That is 3rd worst in the NFL. And then you have to go over to this and look at how bad they are versus the wide receivers. So this is a front 7, stack the box, stop James Conner defense, which they do to most running backs, but they let the yards fly for the wide receiver. So when you look at Minnesota versus the wide receiver right now, they rank 31st. That is second last, giving up 41.3 yards or 41.3 points. 30th in the red zone, giving up 8.2. 188.6 yards to the wide receiver alone. That is dead last in the NFL. And 1.2 touchdowns to the wide receiver. This is why I like Marvin Harrison Jr. for a bounce back. This is why I like Kyler Murray for a bounce back. And he is going to get 20-plus fantasy points this week. Heading over to the running back side by smash player number 3, running back number 1 is going to be the electrifying rookie, Bucky Irving. So currently averaging 13 points per game. Snap share at about 52% because he's splitting with Rachaad White still. Target share at 9.2%. Obviously, you're not going to be up there when you had Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and at the beginning of the season. So he's currently RB21 on the season, so outside the top 10 there. 580 rushing yards, 252 receiving yards. He's going to put 1,000 total yards together in his rookie season easy this year. Attempts is at 108, and guys, he's averaging 5.37 yards per carry with 5 total TDs. Just get this man in space and watch him work. Now, why you have to love this matchup so much? You're going up against the Carolina Panthers. They are the fantasy football pot of gold in every single category. They are almost dead last versus the running back in everything. So you got to listen to these numbers. They give up 29.3 points per game. That's 32nd to the running back. In the red zone, they give up 10.3. That's 31st. On the season, they give up 129.5 yards. That is dead last. And 1.3 touchdowns a game to the running back position, which is also dead last. You absolutely smash Bucky Irvin in this game. You don't even think about it. Set it and forget it. It's going to be money for 20 plus points. The fourth smash player heading into running back number 2 for week 13 is going to be Jonathan Taylor, and most people are going to be scared to play him. Do not be scared to play him this week. Let me tell you why here. So we're going to look at his stats here first. Averaging 13.9 points per game. Playing 96% of the snaps. That is RB1 numbers to the max. Target share at 9.1%. RB26 on the year, so outside the top 10 there. Also missed 3 games. 708 rushing yards in only 9 games. This guy is on pace for like a 1,300 yard season, 1,500 yard if he wasn't hurt. He also has 111 receiving yards, 161 attempts at a 4.4 yard per carry average, and 5 total TDs. Now, why you should not be scared to play Jonathan Taylor this week. They get the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots versus the running back guys, they average 23.3 points per game. That's 19th. They're 29th in the red zone, allowing 8 points to the running back per game, which is 3rd worst. 112.3 rushing yards allowed, which is bottom 5 in the NFL, and a 80% chance for a touchdown. Now, I know Anthony Richardson's back out there. I know they run the RPO. I know Anthony Richardson could steal some goal line, work with his rushing ability. All of that is all there. But the New England Patriots, this is a game that's going to be in the cold, and it's going to be a game where you're at Foxborough, and this is where the big backs come in bruising. Anthony Richardson did rush for about 60 yards last game. I expect that number to drop a little bit here, and I expect them to lean on Jonathan Taylor more because you also have your main target, Josh Downs, is out. So you're going to get Michael Pittman probably on Christian Gonzalez, and you're going to get a heavy dose of 20-plus touches here for Jonathan Taylor, and he is going to smash 20 points this week. Put him in your lineup with confidence. Heading into the wide receivers, smash start number 5. Wide receiver number 1 is going to be George Pickens going right along with Russell Wilson's. I am going to play the stack play this week. If you have it 100%, so should you. So when you're looking at George Pickens here, he's averaging 12.6 points per game. Snap share at 90% in wide receiver 1 numbers. But guys, the target share is at 21.9%, which is the 5th best in the NFL. That is how much you are getting looked at by Russell Wilson. That is 26 targets over the past 3 games. That is 8.5 targets a game. And you saw the snow game, right? And look at the games before the snow game. 111, 74, 91, 89. Then you have the snow game where it's 48. Don't panic. He couldn't find the ball in the air for a touchdown. The snow was out of control. He missed a deep ball on the sideline too. It was terrible weather. Now, you're going to get the Cincinnati Bengals, like I just said with Russell Wilson and how much they give up to the quarterback. Don't worry, it's just as bad versus the wide receiver. They give up 33.8 points per game to the wide receiver. That's 22nd. They do have a good run game, a good front 7, so they're number 5 in the red zone, but I don't look at that because George Pickens is a jump ball go-getter that can be double-teamed to get a red zone touchdown at any time. So they also give up 155.7 yards to the wide receiver, which is bottom 10, and a 90% chance for a touchdown a game just to the wide receiver position. You're going to have to score points to keep up with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, the wide receiver 1, T. Higgins, Chase Brown at the backfield. They're going to be scoring points at will, even against this great Steeler defense. So I expect George Pickens to eat this defense alive. He is in a top 10 wide receiver rankings this week, as is Russell Wilson. And these are both smash players that are going to give you 20 points this week. Smash start number 6, wide receiver number 2 is going to be the superstar rookie Brian Thomas Jr. that it just feels like everyone has forgot about because Trevor Lawrence got hurt. So when you're looking at this, he's averaging 13.3 points per game, snap share at 94%, elite wide receiver 1 numbers, target share at 19.7, that's 42nd. But you have to remember, there was Christian Kirk, there was Gabe Davis as well. Now it's just going to be him and Evan Ingram. So he's wide receiver 14 on the year, outside the top 10 there. 63 targets, 42 receptions, 689 yards, well on his way to a 1,000-yard season as a rookie. Also gets 4 attempts for 19 rushing yards. Got to like that in fantasy football as well, to go along with the 5 total TDs for his big body, 6'3" frame in the red zone, 210 pounds. He's going to be the main target in the red zone the rest of the way. Now, you're going to get the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans' strength is their front 7 versus the run. Their weakness is their secondary. They rank 25th, giving up 35.8. So when you look at the red zone numbers here, they do rank 3rd in the red zone. When the field shrinks, the front 7 that are very good make it hard to score. So that's a given there, but he's like George Pickens. He is a big body guy that can get a jump ball regardless of a double team, so that doesn't bother me at all. 156.4 yards per game they allow to the wide receiver. And this is the number, again, guys, you have to look at here. They allow 1.4 touchdowns to the wide receiver a game, which is dead last in the NFL. And when you're looking at the game, like you're going like, oh, okay, let's see how high scoring the game is going to be. Even with Trevor Lawrence back out there, which is the update that has happened right now, it's at 44.5. I think it's going to be way over that. I think T-Law, and they're coming off the bye and they're angry. Their season may be over, but they're ready to ruin someone else's season. That is what I'm going to be looking for here. And Brian Thomas Jr. is a chunk play monster, and that is what the Texans give up. He is going to be a 20-point smash play for me here in this game. Heading into the tight end, smash player number 7, tight end number 1, and I cannot believe that I'm saying this. It is going to be the jack of all trades, Taysom Hill. So currently averaging 13.4 points per game, 55% snap share, obviously not a full-time tight end out there. They use him all over the place. Target share 5%. Obviously, when you look at those numbers, he doesn't get a lot of reception. Plus, he was injured for 4 games, guys. So tight end 13 outside the top 10 there. 24 targets, 18 receptions, 150 receiving yards. Doesn't do most of his damage receiving, but it's been crazy that he got targeted 10 times last game. Now you look at the rushing yards, 268 rushing yards and 6 TDs. They use him in the red zone as well. So I'm not even going to look at the LA Rams versus the tight end because that is not really Taysom Hill's position. I'm going to look at the Rams versus the running back, which is their weak spot, and they will gadget rush plays for Taysom Hill. They rank 24th versus the running back, 24.3 points. That is going to be a great play when you're worrying about Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill at the same time. They give up 116.8 yards, which is third worst in the NFL. They also give up an 80% chance of a touchdown. And you know Coach Riz, and if you've seen him on his 2-game win streak and you've watched Coach Speak Index, they've already said that they're going to keep using Taysom Hill all the time because the team plays better when Taysom is out there. Now, again, if you've been in my streams or you've seen my comments to this, it's always a gamble. And if you want to take the gamble, this is a great time to take the gamble here because you still have Olave, you have Shaheed on IR, and they're using him to win games. And as long as he's out there healthy, I'm honestly, for the first time in like my fantasy football career, say that he's going to be a start from here on out just because Coach Riz loves this man. And he's probably going to give you a floor of 6 to 7 if he doesn't pop. But his ceiling, you just saw, he just broke the fantasy football record for tight ends last week with a massive 45-point game. So if you own him, probably there's no way you're sitting him after that anyways. But I expect another 20-point smash game here in a very plus matchup. Smash player number 8, tight end number 2, last but not least, is going to be Kyle Pitts. So averaging 13.4 on the season right now. Snap share 75% last game. Target share is at 14.9%, which is 16th for the tight end position. Currently tight end 11 overall, so outside the top 10 there. 52 targets, 35 receptions, 494 yards, 0 rushing yards, hasn't got any end arounds or anything like that. 3 total TDs as well. Now, you have a monster game coming here for the Atlanta Falcons, who are kind of sliding, coming off their bye. Kirk Cousins is kind of struggling. You're going up against the 7-4 LA Chargers. The Falcons are 6-5. A lot of playoff implications on the line here. The over-under is at 47.5. I expect that to be over. I expect the points to be flying in this game. And when you're looking at the Los Angeles Chargers defense, they are a very good top 10 defense in every category. But what's the one category where they struggle in? It is the tight end. They rank 11th, which if that's a struggle, this is their only weak spot, right? So they give up 10.7 points to the tight end position per game. They rank second in the red zone, 0.8 touchdowns there, 47.3 yards, which is top 15, and a 10% chance of a touchdown. But I like this game because Drake London and Mooney are going to be the focal points back out there healthy. And the Chargers give up the third most receptions across the middle in the NFL. That is where Kyle Pitts lives. And you just saw Mark Andrews score a touchdown against them last week, although it was a great catch touchdown as well along to go with it. I have this gut feeling that Kyle Pitts is that breakaway, deep ball gash tight end play where he can just splash a 40, 50-yard bomb because these linebackers cannot hang with Kyle Pitts. And he is going to be my dark horse 20-point call at tight end this week. And I have him ranked as my tight end 6 on the week. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is my week 13, 8 players that are going to smash 2 at each position that I pick outside the top 10 overall players that I think that are going to go for 20 points based on the research and what I think about fantasy football. So again, like last time I did this, there was questions. I mean, don't start these guys over superstar players, right? These are just my smash starts outside of the big names. So I get a lot of comments like, should you start him over Justin Jefferson and stuff like that? I don't look at it like that. These are just my smash starts. So before we head out here, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you smash that subscription. Turn that bell on. Helps me out a ton. I will be live Sunday morning before the show with Big Draft Energy, possibly a couple other guests. We'll be taking all your guys' questions heading into week 13. And if you cannot make the show, you can drop any comment you want down below. I try to answer every single one of them. That is a goal of mine as a content creator to help you get your weekly win and get you that ultimate goal of a championship. And that is it for me, guys. Sleazeball out. Hope to see you guys in the next video.